Hello guys, Waxy Pixel here. Welcome back to another video. I'll probably sound different in this one. I'm getting better. The last couple of videos I was sick, and I'm getting a little bit better now, so my voice shouldn't sound as nasally. But if it does, I'm sorry. But today we're going to be talking about the ultimatum. Now I know ever since they released all the overpowered weapons in the trader van, so many people have bought them, and now I understand that duels are ruined, and as far as I know from my playing, deathmatch sucks too. But I just want to talk about, is the ultimatum really that good? And then when I stop and think about it, and no, not really. It's definitely a very overrated weapon. The ultimatum is good, but I could think of a lot of other weapons that can do just about the same damage and are kind of more reliable. For instance, I think the anti-champion rifle is definitely more powerful than the ultimatum, especially if you know how to aim. I definitely think heavy weapons are better than the ultimatum. I definitely don't think, though, that the ultimatum should be put back in trader vans. I think the Viking can. The Viking is not too bad. See, the Viking shotgun is probably perfect in both worlds. It's not the best shotgun, but it definitely is good, especially if some decent modules. I think the Viking is a weapon that is definitely okay to be brought back because I don't think the shotgun's too powerful, but I think it's powerful enough where it gets the job done and people are still excited to bring it back. I personally think that the ultimatum should have been a gun that it came one time and it should have never been brought back. I've had the ultimatum for about 4 years now, and based on my own experiences, it's just okay. I'm a cat spam player, so I use the gun to finish off a kill if I'm up close. So let's say I hit somebody with a laser bow or any of my other weapons, or I know that person has been damaged and they're at a low level, I'll use my ultimatum to finish them off. Because I already got a hit on them, so it's not too bad that I finish them off with the ultimatum, because it's not spamming the ultimatum, it's just using it as a finisher weapon. And I think that's what heavy weapons are good for too. And actual good players don't abuse these weapons. They use it, for instance, the destruction system, perfect finisher weapon, and usually the only people I see use those weapons are actual good players because they use them in a pretty mature way. And I think that's kind of what I want to talk about. I don't think there's so many people who want the ultimatum nerfed or it to be removed, and to what I say to those people is, first off, you either got absolutely annihilated in duels and you're upset about it. 2, you didn't get the ultimatum when it came out in the chests. And 3, you're mad. Like, you're just mad and you've wanted it for a while. I guess that's just me repeating myself, but I don't know. I feel like people think this they think it's some god weapon. It's really not. It's a very overhyped weapon. Sorry, I'm having a hard time articulating myself, but it's just, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say that the ultimatum is probably a good 8, but it's definitely not a 10. I feel like you will get more kills in a duel spamming the Falcon heavy weapon than you will the ultimatum. What I do think is cheesy, though, is the gripping device. I think if you pair that with the ultimatum in duels, the ultimatum becomes at least a 9.5 out of 10 at that point. Because when you're able to grapple yourself across the map and get close to somebody, the ultimatum is very, very good at one-shotting people up close. In fact, it's basically a guaranteed one-shot when you're in really close range of somebody. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's good to have weapons that can be super, super good in a close range perspective. But the ultimatum is very powerful, and it can actually one-shot some people depending on what armor you have at a farther range. But I do think what weapon that is cheesy and overpowered is the grappling weapons. I don't think those ever should have been added to the game. I think those ruined the game. I think they definitely ruined duels too, because I haven't been in a single duel where I play against a normal cat spam player or a normal primary player or a heavy spam. The grapple spamming is worse than heavy spamming. It used to be like, oh dang, solar flare user. oh, dude, screw them, they're spamming heavier. The dislike button, no, no, no. Forget those and think about the gripping device weapon. Those weapons, the sucker pulling gun is nerfed, and I think that is probably where it needs to be at in terms of its power and its capability. I think the sucker pulling gun is a lot harder to use than the gripping device, and I think that's a good thing. The gripping device is broken. I disliked it. I hate it. I have it myself. I don't use it unless I'm doing point capture. It's pretty useless in capture the flag because, you drop the flag now, which was a good update that they put in the game. But I think instead of nerfing the ultimatum and ruining it for people who have used the ultimatum maturely, is by getting rid of the gripping device. Because, see, the last thing I want is for a good primary weapon that I use, that I don't spam, that I use normally as my go-to primary weapon for finishing people off in my cat spam loadout. I don't want that ruined because people are running around spamming it with the grip device. I hate when things like this happen where there are some people who know how to use a weapon and they use it because they're good players. And then you have people who literally don't care about other people and they just care about giving other people a hard time. And they end up ruining certain modes by spamming the weapon. Not only that, but like Pixel Gun 3D made a crap ton of money off of people by adding all these weapons. And when it comes down to it, they seem like obviously they're a company, so I would assume they would feel this way, but they think they care more about the money they get than I think they care about the players, because they sure don't seem to listen to much. And I think, to be honest, they saw this as an opportunity. Oh, so many players want the ultimatum. Well, I guess we'll finally bring it back because you know how much cash we can make off this? And I know that's pretty obvious, but I think the reason why the game is dying is because the developers decided to release a weapon that was just, or release all these weapons that I just think did not need to be added back. Or all at once. Like, they added all of them back at the trader van. It's such close proximity to each other and without little time spaces between them, and I think that's so stupid. Alrighty, I gotta wrap this video up. It's taking too long, but anyway, thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and I hope y'all have a good evening and good day. Toodles.